Welcome to part number 4 of the 7-string guitar build series that I'm doing. Today, I'm going to be working a little bit more of the neck pieces in order to get it closer to its final actual look. I'll do a little bit of chopping on the mahogany, and I'm going to do another process of showing how I made one of my templates. Now, I didn't end up using this one, but I'm still going to show you my process because it ended up being more of a trace template than a router template. Anyways, here we go. Oh dear. With a couple passes through the planer, this is a really nice looking piece of wood. It's got some cool figure to it, which if book matched would look really cool. Oh, this is tempting. What to do, but will it fit? The tricky part is am I gonna have enough width for both pieces, especially with this funny angle here. I wonder how straight of a line I can get cut here and still maintain and save things. So here's the plan with this chunk of maple. I got to somehow get both sides out of this. Now luckily it's about 2 inches thick, so if I resaw it down the middle, I should be able to get a book matched looking thing. So this took a little while to figure out. I started with a line here, flipped it over and drew it on the other side, and I couldn't quite get my angles right because this side looks nice, but this side has this cool live edge, which is great for furniture. It's a pain for me to figure this out. Anyways, I managed to make everything fit. Using a center line on this side, you can see that here, I'm gonna be able to get that side of the body, no problem. Let's bring that over just a touch, there we go. That's gonna fit here if I can cut it fairly precisely. Flip it over, I can flip that thing over as well. I should be able to get the other half about there out of this part, and it all still fits. That way all the grain is going to match. Now that point is going to match over there, so when I open it, I'm either going to have these cool ripples, you know, flip it, or those cool ripples, which are going to look very similar. Whether or not this ends up being the bottom of the body or the actual top, haven't figured that out yet. We're going to see which one looks better when it's all done. Either way, got to do that. So those of you without a big shop could probably use a circular saw. Mine is, I maybe have that much left after I get through this. It's not a huge blade, so I'm going to try to run this through the bandsaw. Follow this line. I'm going to purposely cut it a little bit big so I have room to run it through a jointer, and I should still have a little bit left. If I end up having to change this a tiny bit, then I'll change it a tiny bit, but I've got a little bit of wiggle room on this side and a lot of bit of wiggle room on this side. Okay, lined up, centered. Center, should be good still right there. I've got plenty of space on this side, just enough. Not a lot, but just enough. When I plane this down a little bit, it should be a little bit more forgiving. The other side, that's gonna be for this part of the guitar. So centered here, centered there. This side has plenty. Now, if I have some extra material here, that'll be nice to be able to save for accents. Maybe if I need a nice little bit of maple for the headstock, I could probably get something out of here, almost like a thin veneer. We'll see. We'll see. This should be cool. Oh, and how about that? I think we need to keep the book here while I'm working for good mojo. Hard to see, but there is a center line there for me to follow. So with the neck wood at least figured out, for the most part, it's time for template stuff. The top template will be going something like this, but I need a side template so that I'm able to plan this out and figure out my heel. Then the little up part gets skinny down to the volute, and then the 4-degree angled neck. I've taken some of my original plans. There's my one for the 3-degree, because I'm going to do a 3-degree. I straightened it out just so to make it easier for my template creation. And then I figured out, where am I going to cut it? There's one piece, there's another piece. I'm making extras just in case. I've also made another fingerboard or fretboard template based on the angle of the neck. The laser cutter that I have access to likes this program called Inkscape, so I'm using that. I've made those 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's hard to see because of the darkness. In the color of RGB red, which is 255. If I click one, I'll show you. 255.00. Oh, I gotta fix that. That's my opacity. That must be at 100% or 255. Down here, I've also done that for this outer shape. That should also be 255.00.255. And for anything I want to engrave, if I click those ones, they should be blue. 00.255.255 in RGB. Now I've made it a little bit easier to see for the screen, but when I actually do the cut, I have to go to my stroke styles and I change this. I've got it here at 0.005 inches, so you can see it. It actually has to be a hairline of 0.001. And then when you press enter, it just about disappears, but that's what the laser needs. Just for visual purposes, 005. The laser wants 001. Got those set up for the laser. Blue, red, all the things. See how she does. So, I got those two pieces that'll fit, and look, it's gonna be the same length. That means I did something right. I started making that and I screwed up. These edges just overhang by a little bit, so I've made another one. The way that this is gonna work is my side view, and I might get rid of that little part. We'll see, depends on what's gonna be easy or hard. My truss rod is going to end up going roughly about there. Probably about there or so. Yeah, that's going to be going out there. There's still going to be enough room, or meat as I would call it, the wood left below. The fretboard is going to be going from about here to roughly about that area. That's where the nut starts, nut ends here. There's going to be a small piece of wood on the top. Right now this is measuring at 0.5. I want it to be 0.6 inches, which is also 15 millimeters. So 1/8 of an inch or so. We're going to put a decorative piece of wood on top of that. Make the tuners look cool. I'm going to go get this cut out, throw that away, start again, and then I'll use the trim bit. Okay, so that template was okay. It's not perfect, but it's going to work at least for tracing. And I can at least get that close. That's going to get lined up here. Flush, 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 flush. And I'll be able to do some tracing. I don't have a router bit quite tall enough, as you can see, to go that wide. But I do have the capabilities of using a band so I can get it close, and then I'll carve by hand. Really, the only part that is going to be super tricky and important is that right here. Now, I'll figure out that side, whatever. The very top, that's going to be getting this on it. So I'll get that roughly planned out. Eventually, that's going to be probably about here. That's going to be a whole other piece that'll get glued on. So the next thing I can do on this, aside from, I'm going to just give that a quick chop. I'm going to route the channel here for my truss rod and also for those stiffening rods. So I'm going to have 3 channels that are going to get routed in here. Once those are in, I'll be able to glue on a fretboard. I still got to get some fretboard wood. Did you like that? I hope you like that. Well, in the next video, I hope you're going to like it too. I'm going to be showing how I got a truss rod inside the neck of the guitar. Well, before you build it. You can see a little bit of the slot, but everything under here is... Anyways, watch the next part. You'll see exactly what I mean. If you enjoyed things, please leave a comment down below. If you're in the middle of building a guitar, I'd love to hear about it. If you've built many guitars and you have suggestions, I'd love to hear that because I'm always trying to learn. My way is not the right way, but it's just the way that I'm going to get things done for my end goal. See you later.